Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Prof. Dr. Dayang, Norhayati and also Dr. Shahliza Halim. Okay, so thank you all for joining our workshop today entitled The Collaborative Learning in Physical and Digital Environment, The Experiences. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about our speaker today. So we have Prof. TS Dr. Norhayati binti Abang Jawawi. Is a professor in School of Computing, Faculty of Engineering, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia UTM. She has a PhD in the field of software engineering from UTM. Currently, she is an associate chair in academic and student development at School of Computing since July 2018. And she is a member of the Software Engineering Research Group, SERG, Smart Digital Community Research Alliance in UTM. And she is also actively involved in the design, implementation, and review of software engineering curriculum in UTM. So we have also Dr. Shahliza binti Halim. She is a software engineering is a lecturer in the software engineering department, Faculty of Computer Science and Information System, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. She has a Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science, Software Engineering, also from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. So the research area is software product line, software reuse, component-based software engineering, software architecture, and design. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to invite Prof. TS Dr. Dayang Norhayati and also Dr. Shahliza to start the sharing session. Thank you, Prof. Over to you.
Before I start, I would like to thank you, Kam, and for 2021 invitation for sharing. Actually, this is a continuation of what did I share last year in 2020. And then this year, I invited my teammate, Dr. Shahliza, to also contribute toward what we're going to share today. Okay, so and again, this is, I think, a good opportunity for us in UTM to share what we have and also share, might be UNIMAS has your own uniqueness of implementing collaborative learning. Okay, so let I start. I'm very welcome to any question, either during the question and answer session and also during my presentation as well. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Dayang, but in Sarawak it's quite normal. Most people has their Dayang name, but in UTM Skudai, I think only 3 or 4 of us with Dayang name, and I'm one of them. So in UTM Skudai, they call me Dr. Dayang. Okay, with me is Dr. Shahliza. Okay, and then our topic today will be collaborative learning. Okay, let's have a look at our layout today. I will start with what is collaborative learning in general, just to have a common definition of collaborative learning, and then the environment, how we can implement collaborative learning, and then my sharing number point 2 will be what are example of collaborative learning design that we have in our curriculum in School of Computing UTM. And then number 3, I will part of Dr. Shahliza and our team work will be defining collaborative learning frameworks and how we implement it before COVID-19 and after COVID-19, and then what we learn from the process of both implementation. And after that, I will pass to Dr. Shahliza. Pass the button to Dr. Shahliza for her sharing on tools. Okay, let's start with the first one. Okay, introduction. This is, I think, general definition. Everybody quite familiar with this definition, but I bring this definition, collaborative learning meaning that a form class learning by changing from passive reception, a student from passive to active, where the student will need to work in group, okay, mutually searching for understanding in group and creating knowledge, what they want to learn in group, okay. There are different approaches that we can use in collaborative learning. There are many, okay? And then today I will share some of those, like problem-based, project-based, and cases, and a few example, peer teaching and things like that, okay? I'm not from education. Bear with me if my theory is wrong, but I'm trying to get myself into the theory of education. Might be it's wrong, but anyhow, collaborative learning theory that we would like to bring here is constructivism, and then social constructivism, where the learner construct their own knowledge from the collaboration or software. From the social collaboration, interact and learn from more competent peer, meaning that within a group, those who have more understanding will start coaching those who have less understanding, but they are working as a team in order to achieve one particular knowledge that we expected them to get at the end. Another one is social learning. Models are presented as exemplar for appropriate attitude and reaction. And then the most important, the opportunity to rehearse and practice new behavior of learning while they are in group. Okay, when we say collaborative learning, if we say physical and digital, is it either physical or digital? Or we can have a blended way of collaborative learning. The same thing like teaching and learning, we can have 100% face-to-face, 100% online, or we can have something in the middle, which is blended. And then according to this report, the level of blended also have different level, either fully online, more towards face-to-face, or in between, or more towards online, or more towards face-to-face. So it very much depends on our design. And then the same thing with the technology. We can also do face-to-face with minimum technology, but we online with minimum technology, but we still can manage to do online learning or online collaborative learning with minimum technology. And then either we want to do it with minimum technology or with more infused technology into the learning process. Okay. So as I said, blended can be blended face-to-face and online, or blended individual and collaborative, meaning that if I'm giving one assignment, one project, for example, here, I can have a combination of blended learning of individual and collaborative learning, meaning that there is a task where the individual need to complete their task individually, or there are tasks in that project they need to accomplish it as a group. Okay, so it can be blended. Like for example here, there are situations like then the student need to do online individual. There are situations that they need to online or offline collaboratively learn. So in a project, we can have a combination of individual and collaboratively learn, and also we can also implement it, part of it face-to-face and another part of it online. Okay, so when we discuss about environment, I think there are many research out there try to define what is the best environment for collaborative learning. Okay, this is one example of what document. I think everybody can download this document. where they define what is the best physical environment for collaborative learning. They are looking at what is the best group size, what is the best furniture, the best layout for different type of activity in collaborative learning. This is one for physical. This is example of physical collaborative learning environment, where definitely we will have like a bigger table, and then environment where more than one student can sit together and share their discussion. And then most probably they have a share screen where everybody can have a look and do brainstorming during the session. Okay, the top right and bottom left here is what we have in computing, where we have active learning room or lab, where the student can have a bigger table and they have a screen monitor where they can share, connect their notebook wirelessly to the monitor. Okay, and then they will have bigger tables so that you can have so many things, like on the left left bottom there, they have a robot, small robot work problem solving, so that they can work in group. Okay, this is a physical. If we're talking about online, okay, online also have there are many research define online best online environment. For example, Sharifah Nadira in one of her article discuss on collaborative learning elements. What are the best elements for learning environment for online, learning interaction for online, and learning design for online, where she defined online project-based collaborative learning model, which consider what are the elements for collaboratively to achieve collaborative learning and project-based, and what are the attributes to achieve online, like usability, accessibility, and things like that. Okay, I'm not going to elaborate further, meaning that there are a number of work where we can refer to in order to set up the best environment for both online and physical collaborative learning. Okay, when we're talking about collaborative learning, definitely if we do it online, we need technology. Okay, we need the digital or tools in order to help us to achieve that. So in this homepage, they divided the tools into different groups. What are the tools can be used for group projects and paper? What are the tools that can support collaborative learning for group discussion and communication? What are the tools which can support research and note-taking and file sharing for social networking? Tools for blogs and wikis, and then tools for task management. So I like this homepage because they're define evaluate the tool based on the category, because when we design our collaborative learning, we need to look at what tools specifically, the objective of the tools. Different collaborative learning that we design require different types of tools. Okay. Okay, that is just overview. What is collaborative learning? What is collaborative learning environment? Where actually we can find the criteria or the best criteria. But the most difficult part is to design the environment, to design the collaborative learning in order to match with our curriculum and with the facility that we have. Okay, this is where we share some of the collaborative learning design that we have in computing, and how we implement it before COVID and after COVID. Okay. General introduction of our academic program in School of Computing. We have 5 undergraduate program. 4 of them, we call it conventional program, and 1 2U2I program, which is Bachelor Computer Science and Data Engineering. This is part of Ministry pilot 2U2I program. And then we have 7 postgraduate program. We have 1 mixed mode program, 2 top course program for master, and then 2 MPhil program, and then 3 PhD program. So currently we have around like nearly 1,600 undergraduate program and nearly 500 postgraduate program, postgraduate students, sorry. Okay, in this session, I would like to share 2 of the program, which is the first program is Bachelor of Computer Science Software Engineering. Why I would like to share this program? Because this program is among the top 10 program in Malaysia. Usually we will have average CGPA enter from UPU is like around 3.9 to 4.0 average CGPA student. So this is a very popular program so far that we have in School of Computing, where we designed the program with work-based learning, we're using more capstone, research nexus, service learning, and then graduate attributes. Okay, and then we have 130 credit. We call it conventional because it's still conventional. And then the second mode of our the program that I would like to share today is our 2U2I study mode, where it is for Bachelor of Competence Data Engineering program, okay, where the student need to be 2 years fully in school, 1 year day release to industry, and the final year 100% in industry, okay? So when I'm talking about these 2 programs, there are different types of work-based and collaborative learning that I will discuss here. The first one is work-based directed theoretical learning, which is we run the work-based directed in class. Okay, problem-based, we bring certain problem and then integrated in our material in class, and project-based, we bring project to our class, sometimes through capstone and cornerstone project. And then another one is a workplace learning, where the student really need to be in a real workplace in order to implement the collaborative learning. Okay, I will discuss some of them and how we design it into our curriculum. Okay, as I mentioned just now, I will share these 2, some of the design of our 2 program. Okay. This is year 1 course where we implemented work-directed theoretical learning, where our students need to visit a number of industry before COVID physically, but after COVID we implement it online, where they'll have a look at the possible works that, because this is for first year course, where they start to set up their mind what type of workspace or what type of job they wish to do at the end of their program. Okay, the second design is project-based. This is application development for year 3 student. This is like a prerequisite for final year project. Application development is a course where the student need to develop software or system in group. Okay, where they need to work in group. After they can work in group, then they can register for their final year project. Meaning that if they cannot work in group, they need to repeat the course until they pass the course, then they can work individual. Another one is collaborative problem-based learning. This one is where we use 1 case study shared between these 2 courses. Okay. And then collaborative project-based learning. This one is for our 2U2I. It's much more complex than collaborative problem-based just now, because beside collaboratively work within these 3 courses, meaning that 3 courses, we have 1 case study shared in 3 courses by to be solved by a group of students. there are industry involvement as well in the project, where the industry need to give input and the student will have their release to industry in order to solve the problem. And this is normal workplace learning where the student need to be in industry. But the two main focus that I will discuss today will be the collaborative problem-based and project-based. Okay, the first implementation is application development. It is a year 3 project where it is a service learning course where the student is compulsory to the student to find problem from community. Okay. And then and they will apply all their knowledge from year 1 till year 3 in order to solve the community problem. Okay, this is example where the student need to get a real requirement. They need to work in groups, okay, from early of the semester until the end. It's like a final year project, but this one is in group project, okay. And there are a number of classes where the lecturer need to check the student progress and to share some of the technologies, the latest technology, how the student can solve the problem. Okay, we use agile software development life cycle to for them to manage their project. And then we have a showcase product at the end of the semester, and some in community. We also invite community to come and have a look at the student showcase. Okay, this is the first course. The second one is software engineering courses. This is a work from Dr. Shahliza and team, where they use this collaborative, meaning that using one project in order to impose the interrelation between different courses. So this example that I bring here, where software engineering and requirement engineering share the same group of students will share the same project. Okay, so how to implement this? Did a proper planning, avoid overlapping of assessment and similar deliverable. Okay, meaning that we have software engineering course. There is a course learning outcome of that course mentioned about teamwork or collaboratively learn. And then in other course, requirement engineering, software modeling also mention about teamwork and collaborative work, so that we can combine these two courses. They will share the same case study. Okay, how they do it? Like software engineering course have their own case study, and then they are deliverable, and the same thing with requirement engineering, and they try to map the two courses so that the student know that they will submit the same things, but will be evaluated from different angle from two different courses. Okay, and then the best is to have a real case study. This is an example of some of the case study where we have one big case study and we break the case study into small project so that each group will solve the project. Okay, and then they implement design thinking, and at the end we have symposium where the stakeholder also will attend the presentation by student. And then another one is 2U to I collaborative, because this one is a bit more challenging as compared to the previous one, because the student will work with industry. Okay, so for this project, the student will work with industry, and then every semester the 2U to I student will have their own set of courses, will share the case study. For example, for semester 1, system analysis and design, database and system development technology will share one case study, and then they have to submit certain thing for first course, certain thing for second course and third course. In semester 2, we have software engineering and application development share the same case study. Okay, what's so good about sharing the same case study? It benefits students a lot, where they need to understand only one case study instead of different courses giving different case study. Okay, this is how they map, because this is 2U to I, where we have day release to industry. For example, in week 7, the student will have work-based learning. So the student need to be with industry for this week in order to meet industry, to get requirement or to do something in industry. Okay, and then the same thing with, so meaning that certain percentage of the class, no classes, but the student need to go to industry. When we implemented before COVID-19, we really, because to U2I in UTM, we have special fee so that we can give extra, we can pay courses, we can pay the student to go to industry. But most of the industry that we engage are nearby Skudai or nearby Johor Bahru. Okay, so that it's easier for the student to visit the industry in a particular week that we appointed. This is a situation where when they need to meet industry, usually the first session we will invite industry to UTM in order to do initial engagement so that we can pair the group with industry. Like this group will match, the industry will choose their group. So industry said, okay, we want this group to solve their problem. Industry will discuss a number of problems, and then we will sit with the industry lecturer to identify which group is the best group to solve that particular problem at the beginning of the semester. And that session we call industry day at the beginning. And then we will like matchmaking the industry problem with student. And after that, the student will go to industry for weeks day release that we appointed just now. Okay, that is how we implement it into U2I. Okay, and then at the end of the semester, the industry will come back and evaluate the student project. Okay, so there are two situations where the industry will come to our school, first at the beginning and another one at the end. But in the middle, the student will visit the industry and get the requirement and develop their project. Okay. The next one is how COVID has changed the way we collaborate. So the three examples that we see just now, I would like to share how we change it when we have post-COVID implementation or during COVID implementation. How I will discuss in terms of how does lecturer prepare and plan the course, teach and teaching learning of the course, how we execute, communication and monitoring of the course, how the student and the lecturer manage the process. Okay, this is for software engineering just now, 2 courses, which actually in that particular semester, there are software engineering and requirement engineering share with 1 case study, software analysis and system analysis and database will share 1 case study. Okay, first at all, for the preparation, students are divided into the same team, meaning that if you're taking the same section in 1 course, you must have the same section in the other course. You cannot cross section. Like for example, software engineering section 1, you cannot register software engineering in section 2. Okay, because you will have the same case study for both, so it must be parallel. Even though our students are adult students, even though we already remind them many times to say, okay, if you, for these 2 courses, there are sharing case study, make sure you register the same section for both courses. I think you can ask Dr. Shahliza what's the hassle the lecturer need to go through for a few weeks of the semester, where the student, the lecturer need to rearrange to make sure the student will be in the same section so that we can have this collaborative case study sharing. Okay. After we manage the student in the same section, in the same team so that they can use the same case study, then we start to identify the industry or the stakeholder. Okay, for software engineering, every semester they have different stakeholder and different case study. Usually our research project have a lot. Like for example, if we have both Dr. Shahliza and I, last year we have research project from Mahkamah Syariah and Syarikat Air Johor, then with that collaboration, we can initiate invitation so that this organization can share the case study in our class. Okay. And revise schedule to map the artifact, as I mentioned just now, to do the mapping. These are the examples where we need to group the students so that we can appoint the student with the same case study for 2 courses. And these are examples that Dr. Shahliza shared where we invite the stakeholder. After COVID, definitely stakeholder, we will organize a session with stakeholder online. Before COVID, we really invite them to come. Okay, teaching and learning. Dr. Shahliza utilized this course online lecture and breakout room so that the student have discussion with the stakeholder, and then online teaching material like video and slide, and then Moodle as source of teaching and learning, and organize it in active learning. Okay, this is a physical implementation. Okay, where we have the stakeholder to join us, and then the physically meet the student to discuss about their case study. But this is happened this semester where the stakeholder will join the session in group and then share their case study, and then we break the student into group so that they can discuss further with the stakeholder. Okay. This is this semester where how Dr. Shahliza organized active learning using puzzle group discussion, okay, for this course. All right, and then how we utilize different collaborative tools like Trello and chat in Discord we use it as part of the collaborative learning tools. Further, Dr. Shahliza will share how they set up these tools in learning environment. Okay. Okay, so that is software engineering. This is for 2U2I, where we have industry. The difference between case study in software engineering just now, the industry given us problems and the student doing project. But for 2U2I, the industry driven us a real project where the student need to solve the project and the solution will be part of the industry products. It's slightly different with the previous one. Okay, so this is what Dr. Haza shared with me. Survey on, definitely all courses need to do survey for student equipment and internet connection if we do it online. Because for this 2U2I, the previous course, like Dr. Shahliza course just now, it's up to requirement. For this 2U2I, it will up to implementation. They need to really implement the products and develop the software. So the software development tools must be fit or properly set up before we start the class. And then revise the weekly schedule to make sure all the courses align so that we can have sharing of the cases, okay? Brief potential work-based industry partner, meaning that invite all the industry partner to give their case study and then to map them with the potential, the group of students that will solve their the industry problem. Okay, mostly this group using Webex account and Google Meet. And then in the class session, they have a technical discussion, like in terms of code, they will discuss with the industry, their solution and things like that. Okay, they also have used collaborative tools like here Trello, and then they also use simple tools like Telegram and WhatsApp groups. Okay, based on 2 implementation and including application development 3 implementation just now, definitely there are many problems in online collaborative learning. Okay, these are some of the problems that I extracted from literature. Like for example, student do not, this is for online by Ranas 2, works in 2020, they look at the challenges in distant learning on online collaborative in time of COVID. Okay, among the challenges that they describe are students do not contribute equally, finding a mutually suitable time to work together is difficult, especially for our software engineering program. Like software engineering program is most popular among Malaysian students, and also most popular among our international students as well. Like enrollment for our software engineering student, 30% of the students are from international students. So meaning that average 30% of the class are international, and during COVID-19, they are not here in UTM. They are distributed and they have different time zone. And in order to find the best time for them to discuss is quite difficult. Okay. And then when we set the examination timetable, also we have to look into that things. Okay, the teacher evaluate the content, not the collaboration. So meaning that beside we evaluate the content, we also need to evaluate how the team collaborate, and students prefer to collaborate with their friends, meaning that if you created heterogeneous group, they tend to refuse because they prefer to collaborate with their friend. Okay, lessons are more concentrated in volume, and then assessment of collaboration is another issue. And then when I compare, the left-hand side column is the problem from a general collaborative learning. The right-hand side problems are problems from online collaborative learning. If we compare among these two problems, when I try to do the mapping, actually the problem is not very much happened in technicality of the facility or the technology we use to enable collaborative learning. It's still the same with a general collaborative learning problem. Okay, like attitude. Like number one is attitude. Some students really don't like to work in group. That's happened in online as well. And then selection of group might be much more challenging in online because they're not used to meet physically. Right? They don't know their friends, then it's much harder to create group. And then in left-hand side, they discuss about much difficulty to find time for physical. Actually, we have more challenge to, the student have more challenge to set up discussion time if you are online, especially if you distributed in different region or different time zone, you have different time zone. And then free rider is common for both on physical or online. And then inequality of works where there are students are more dominant as compared to other students. It's happened for both situations, either physical or online. We also have superior student as well for both physical and online. And then withdrawal of members, like at the end of, in the middle of the group activity, there are students who drop out or withdraw from the group. And then that's happened for both online and physical, but it seems to be it's more critical in online because they have not met physically. Okay, and then another one is lack of essential group work skill, meaning that beside asking them to collaborative work in group, we really need to teach them why we want them to work in group, how is the best process for them to learn in group. So in my class, at the beginning of the class, I really give short video about what is collaborative learning, what is advantage of collaborative learning, and ask them to give like feedback of what they think of collaborative learning. That's the best for them in order to learn. So we need to explicitly introduce the collaborative learning and teamwork in the class rather than just give them tasks and expect them know how to work collaboratively, because they don't know the inspiration behind collaborative learning process. Okay, this is my comparison. Okay, then we move to our experience on how to tune collaborative learning approach, a collaborative learning from physical to digital environment. Okay, this one we will use one course. Dr. Shahliza also teaching this course, taught this course few semesters ago, but we already proposed the approach like 2-3 since 2018. We're starting to introduce the approach. Okay, the course is real-time software engineering. The course is teaching embedded real-time development skill. It's like combination of software engineering and engineering products. Okay, and then it is an elective course for final year student, Bachelor of Computer Science Software Engineering. Okay, the problem why we need a frameworks, because students face difficulty in understanding the theory, because in real-time software engineering, we have mathematical theory, software engineering theory, and different theory behind it, control theory. So without a proper way of teaching, it's quite difficult for the student to apply it in a real case study. Okay. The second problem, complexity and different with multidisciplinary area of embedded data system, because the system consists of hardware and software, and then multidisciplinary, where the student need to know about hardware as well. The student need to know about the software as well. So it's multidisciplinary system. So we decided the collaborative learning is the best way to introduce this project that we have in this course. So that's why in 2018, we introduced collaborative assignment and project, incorporating mobile robots and IoT system for problem-based and project-based learning environment. We have a practicals. We hope that this approach can to realize the complexity and multidisciplinary expert required in developing the system, and then so that we can introduce physical hardware in the system during the face-to-face session. So this course we have 4 CLO. The CLO which emphasis on collaborative learning and team is number 4, CLO 04. Okay. And then we have constructive alignment, consists of C4, P3, and A3, aligned with the formative and summative assessment. And we have different teaching and learning activity. Okay, so I call this the first approach that we have is blended between physical and online collaborative learning environment, where we organize the project, part of it online, part of it face-to-face before COVID-19, where we use mobile robot that we develop in UTM, and then we use IoT devices of the chef sensor and actuator. Okay, then we organize this IoT project in terms of hackathon in class. We organize hackathon where the students are giving duration like 2 days, 3 days in a hackathon to solve the problem. Okay, this is the frameworks that we propose. We adapted high impact educational practices by COO 2008 to integrate into the approach, where we have field expert sharing, industry sharing in the course, and then practical lab and lecture session using the 2 project and problems that we have. And then the student also have group discussion, and then they have lab activity. And then we have formative and summative assessment, okay, from the methodology, instructional object, and learning object. Then we assess them formative and summatively. Then the assessment consists of paper writing, like technical paper, product developments, and then also they will showcase their product as well with industry, okay? And then we introduce tools for collaborative learning, where because we want to see the progress of their collaborative learning online. So we set session where the student need to discuss or record their discussion in forum. Okay, the two type of discussion that we record is the discussion among the same members of the groups, okay, and then among different group, meaning that if one group solve the problem this way, the other group need to argue and ask question to other groups, so that beside learning within group, they also learn from other group as well. So we use forum. We also use Padlet in order to share material. Okay, in this approach, collaborative learning approach, we use concept of constructivism, where we guide them what to do. We ask the students to do this scaffolding and develop the product, and then we assess the product formatively, step by step, and then they need to do reflection, individual reflection at the end of the class, at the end of the semester. Okay, this is reflection, part of the reflection that we get from the student, where we conclude that the student demonstrate confident and comfortable to collaboratively develop software with physical hardware, meaning that in the hackathon, in the robot project, they're express their confidence and they're really happy to work in group in these two projects, which is the Bomba robot and the IoT project, in terms of the software development and the product development of that we appoint to them. Okay. Okay. This approach we presented in ACRI 2019, but we did not won the ACRI 2019. But Alhamdulillah, our team have opportunity to share our approach in ACRI 2019. And then we also presented the approach in RCEE, which is a regional conference for engineering education. Okay, this approach we collaboratively develop with researcher from our school, team of us, and our researcher from electrical engineering school. Okay, let's see how we tune the approach with during COVID and post-COVID. Okay, so last session was the first implementation online. And this semester, we just started like week 3 now, is our second implementation of this course online. Okay. Okay, how we tune? No change of the learning outcome, but we need to tune the teaching and learning activity, and we need to tune how we give feedback and assessment method. Okay. But it's very sad to say last session, we cancel all the physical hardware because it was emergency. The student went back to the kampung. We cannot provide them with the robot, and we cannot provide them with the IoT tools. So last session was so bad, we cancel the physical hardware. But this session, because week 3 now, we put it back. We introduce back the physical hardware, but with minimum hardware, but they still need to implement the hardware in their project. Okay, but what I present here was last session, because I cannot. Might be next talk I will discuss about this semester implementation. Okay, we need to tune the methodology that we have, the project that we give to the student, and then most of the implementation that we implement physical, we change it to OL. OL is online, and then we need to retune the tool for teaching, especially the hardware tools. The physical hardware tool, we need to change it to simulation, and then definitely we cancel the physical hardware. How we change it, this is, I will discuss this one in detail in terms of the CAP methodology, instruction object, formative assessment, learning object, and tool for teaching. But Dr. Shahliza will discuss further tool for teaching, yeah? Okay, the CAP methodology, robot, we change it to simulation tools. And then IoT, we focus with implementation of design of the software, not up to the implementation of the products until the development. Okay, so this is quite so sad because we cannot, the student cannot really implement. But this semester, we will make sure the student will implement the IoT. Instruction and learning definitely online, and last semester we removed the physical hardware, but this semester we are introducing back with minimum physical hardware. Okay, I share with you one of the project that we have, the simulation robot, where in this project we share our technical paper, okay, technical paper, because it's happened that my team are working with mobile robot and software development of software engineering for mobile robots. So we have a number of technical paper that we already published, and then based on that paper, the student will develop, based on the requirement of the mobile robot that we have in the paper, the student will start doing the simulation, okay, using simulation tools. Okay, there are 3 phases in this project. Discussion related to research work, and then this is more like review, comparison, and then phase 2 is they will evaluate the tools, use the case study, implement it in the simulation tools, and phase 1 and phase 2 are in group, and phase 3 are individual reflection, where each individual student need to do their own reflection. Reflection, they need to do journal. What then sheet reflects is your individual perception on the group collaborative project and the assessment of the group interaction that may occur during the project week. They need to write up in terms of that. And then their writing will divide into 2: adaptability of the system and collaborative learning, their experience in collaborative learning. Okay. As I mentioned, formative assessment for the project, we have formative and summative. Okay, if we have a look here, software artifacts, report, present, and are the document where we consistently do it formatively, where they can submit draft, we can give it back, and they will rewrite it. But for reflection journal, presentation and product, they need to do it as summative, only once. We're not going to give any comment. In the middle, they will do the products, and then they will showcase it to us. Okay, for formative assessment, I'm really emphasis on rubrics and deadline. Okay, rubrics, like these are example, all assessment that we have in the formative assessment, we need to provide them rubric. Like for example, for project 2, the student need to submit technical paper. We need to have one rubric for that. And then tools review, they need to have a rubric for that. Presentation video, we have to have another rubrics. Project video, another rubrics. Journal reflection, another rubric, and question and answer forum, then we have to have another rubric. The rubric need to be shared with the student. When we share the question, we share the rubric so that the student aware of what are the expectations of the project outcome. Okay, and then the deadline is very critical, especially online. It's very fragile. They really like to postpone, asking for more time. This is what I experience in online environment as compared to a physical environment. Okay, here I would like to share how we use the rubrics as part of alternative assessment. Like for example, we have the rubric, we share with the student. We will have like 1 or 2 progress report for certain technical report that we ask them to write. Then instead of one of the progress or one of the formative assessment, instead of we evaluate each student in terms of their progress, I'm using the rubrics and ask peer review, meaning that one group peer review other group in terms of their performance based on the rubric that we have. So this is one example, like technical report. These are the rubrics that the student fill in. They put note and they justify why they give like 2 out of 4 marks for this group. And then this comment, peer comment, will be shared to the groups, and the group will have a look as if your friend would like to evaluate your current progress, what are the marks that they will give their friends. This is some sort of review instead of lecturer giving the review. The peer, either the peer in the same group give feedback, or a peer from different group would give feedback to the student. Okay, this is just example. Dr. Shahliza will discuss this further, how we use Padlet so that the group will share their solution. Okay, and then how the group share their solution in forum. What we discuss in forum is very detailed, like what I show here. The simulation parameter, the student will discuss it in forum. They will ask me, ask other students in terms of their setting. So we discuss everything in forum, either within the group so that I can intervene, or the facilitator can intervene the student discussion. Like when I have a look at the discussion, it seems like something wrong with the discussion, I can intervene. But if the discussion seems to be okay, it's like the right direction, we just give a simple input to the student. Okay. So this is example forum between group. Okay. Okay, at the end of the semester, this is the perception that we gather from pre-entry and exit survey. It seems to like improvement in terms of their teamwork and collaborative learning participation in this one. And then, would have preferred to our group, if we ask them, you prefer to do it online or offline, most of them say they prefer, 69% of the group said they prefer it offline. Okay, so bear in mind, the student also don't like, as much as we don't like online, the student also don't like online, but they're forced to do that. And inshallah, we or the student will get used to it. And then this is another question that we ask. What are the most valuable aspects of your group assignment experience? They say learning from others and sharing ideas. So we can see how the student appreciate the collaborative learning here. Okay, and they're also like learn new thing in online environment and using technology. Okay, and then learning to work in groups. Okay, it seems like something new for them online. And then we ask, what are the most valuable aspect of your group assignment experience? Difficulty of arranging a discussion time to suit everybody in the group, 84%. So if I have a look at the problem listed in literature just now, so it seems like our implementation also have the same problem as listed in literature. Okay, so we need to see how we address this problem. As I mentioned just now, it's very challenging for software engineering students. Like 30% of the students are international students, and they have different time zone, and it's quite difficult to select the best time for them to do collaborative learning. Okay, and then we also ask them in terms of technology they use. This is some of the technology that they use in their collaborative learning. Okay, this is my second last slide. First, I would like to share, there are many tips outside there. It's just the matter whether we want to implement the tips or not. Like 20 collaborative learning tip and strategy is quite similar with the one that we discussed just now. Might be they have extra things. These are the tips that you can share with the student in e-learning. Okay, so you just post it there, then say, please have a look at this team, and then hopefully they can improve the way of the student collaborate. Okay, to end my point is, we hope the challenges and solution presented will be sufficient to encourage other educators to take challenge and discover the benefit of collaborative learning. So I really hope that. And then before I end, I would like to say thank you to UTM for a grant provider for this research, and also the participant academic staff, which is the lecturer involved and the student, and then our robotic group where we develop robots for teaching. This is our new project currently. Dr. Shahliza also part of our team, where we develop a ubiquitous computing in education, where we develop micro-credential for community service, where we teach computational thinking to solve problem using robotics programming. This is the latest one. We just complete the micro-credential, and inshallah, next one we will implement it with JPN Segamat, inshallah. I think that's all for my sharing. The next section will be with Dr. Shahliza. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you, Prof. I have one question from the participant. Okay, so from Prof. Gabriel. So she asks, please point out the differences to team-based learning.
Between what, sorry?
Differences to team-based learning.
To team-based learning. Differences between?
Differences between the collaborative, I think, to collaborative
and team-based.
Yes, yes.
And team-based, okay. There are different definitions in terms of team and group, okay? Okay, the same differences between, I might be wrong, but please double check me, between cooperative learning and collaborative learning, okay? Team have different, towards the same submission, okay? They are working collaboratively to achieve the same submission, and group is individual person have their own objective, but they are sharing the same problem. Okay, the same thing with cooperative and collaborative. Cooperative, if we give a task to a group, okay, each individual team member will have their own deliverable, individual, but they are solving the same problem, but member one will produce this one, member two will produce the other submission, member three will produce the other submission. That is cooperative. But collaborative, they will work together, they will also distribute their work, but towards the end, they will share their objective together to achieve one same objective. So that's the difference between team and group, cooperative and collaborative. Okay?
Okay, Doktor. Doktor boleh proceed. Okay.
Terima kasih Dr. Dayang Azra. Okay, Alhamdulillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you to come UNIMAS and also Prof. Dayang for giving me the opportunity to do my first sharing outside UTM for basically in the field of education. Okay, before I proceed further, can you hear clearly my voice?
Boleh, Doktor.
Okay. So basically, what I want to share is just on the tool. Okay, so Dr. Dayang have already described on the collaborative learning and between physical and digital environment, the implementation, the sample or example, and also the survey done to get feedback from the student. So what I will concentrate is basically on the tools for online collaborative learning. Okay, so talking about tools, okay, actually there are so many tools. Even Dr. Dayang, Prof. Dayang have shown a few tools, several tools in order for us as a educator to choose. And also, this is one of a way of choosing tools. So this is a pedagogy wheel proposed by Alan Carrington. So the pedagogy wheel, if you go to the link, the pedagogy wheel is he has divided all the tools based on taxonomy Bloom. Dr. Alan Carrington, he has divided all the tools. Basically, majority of the tools are Apple-based tool. Okay. However, we can see from for example, for remembering the lowest taxonomy Bloom. For remembering, there is one there, Evernote, and also what else? There are also Google. Okay, and for apply, also Google. And so Google is quite a popular tool to use. Okay, however, even though there are so many tools, but what I want to concentrate for today is for only remote teaching during COVID-19 pandemic. And also there are several reference, other name for it. For example, online remote learning, emergency learning. So when it's emergency, we are proposing, or we are selecting tools which are just in time that we can propose for the that is best for that particular environment, for that particular learning environment. So again, I will focus on only the remote teaching, emergency learning. Okay. So so basically, if we here, okay. So before I go to the tools, okay, I recap back what Prof. Dayang have described about the proposed approach, framework for the learning of real-time embedded system. However, that particular framework is not for just one particular subject or course. It can be implemented to other courses. Okay. So the most important thing to know is the collaborative part. Okay. How can we implement the collaborative part? Okay. So we have project-based learning, we have problem-based learning, but we want to implement it collaboratively. Okay. So basically, as a learner, in order to work collaboratively, they have to construct a new meaning through active involvement with others. So we call it constructivist approach to learning. So meaning it's not coming from us, it's coming from their discussion with their team, or informal discussion with other than their teammates. Okay, and as an educator, okay, we have to plan and establish an environment for peer learning to enable them to learn collaboratively, to understand, to discuss, so that they can understand the material, and their discussion is among them. They can understand their own language, because they are students and students, so they can understand it maybe more than when we one way lecture with them. Okay, so we call it also student-centric approach. So what we want to have is to be able to communicate. And if there is a project, of course there is project-based and problem-based learning, project work. So we want to manage the project. We want to give feedback to the student. And if possible, they can brainstorm together during our lecture, and they can give reflection of what they have learned after the lecture. So this is what I want to concentrate for the tools for online collaborative learning: to communicate, for project management, to give feedback, brainstorming together, and also lastly, the reflection, the most important thing, because from the reflection we can improve what we have planned before. Maybe what we plan is we think effective for us, but not for the student. So that is the most important part, the reflection. Okay, so what I will propose is just an alternative for what uh, you have used for your lecture. Okay, so the first one is Discord, for the communication, uh, Trello for the project management, Jamboard, uh, Trello also for the feedback, and Jamboard for the brainstorming together, and Padlet for reflection. Okay. So these are the four focus tools that I will share for today. Okay, so basically for the Discord, so it's basically very good for small team discussion and also for lecture. Yeah, we have tried it for lecture, and the students seems to be engaged during lecture using Discord. And then we have feedback and team progress using Trello, where there will be a team workspace. So different roles for the team. We give the team a different role so that they can reflect it in their project management. And also lastly for team management, because they can schedule their work. And then we have Jamboard. Jamboard basically it's a very for me it's a very simple tool, but the impact when the student use it for me it's very wow outside the box when they use it. Okay, so it's also for small team discussion, and I also use it for collaborative activities such as jigsaw puzzle lately, just recently. Okay, and the last one is Padlet. But for Padlet, we can do almost a lot of things using Padlet. But I will focus on the reflection. So reflection is where we give student exit ticket. So exit ticket, basically I give them before they dismiss the class. So it must be filled in so that it will be also considered as their attendance. Because there we know their reflection about what we have lectured for today. Okay, so that is 4 tools. Okay, maybe all of you have used it, but I just share what my experience lately for the pandemic. For the pandemic, what pandemic era lah. Okay, pandemic era. So that is these are what I have implemented. Okay, so before we proceed further, can all of you uh, use this URL, okay, and use this URL, and then try to choose which online platform that you use to deliver your lecture. And I have your participation. Okay, so I think that's none of you have used Discord before. So there are WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet. Okay. So basically in UTM also we have WebEx, and majority during the early pandemic we use WebEx for our online lecture. After that, we tried Google Meet. Me and my friends, we tried Google Meet because it's the students prefer Google Meet due to they said that the bandwidth is lower for them. Because we basically based on the survey that we've done, so they said that they prefer Google Meet, so we go for Google Meet. Microsoft Teams in UTM, there are lecturer using it, but because of pandemic, we want it just in time. So Microsoft Teams have the student have to ask. The student have to have permission or the student have to ask to have a live account, live Microsoft account. So it takes a little bit of time, and also the students sometimes they are reluctant sometimes okay, so it takes time to make all of them to go for Microsoft Teams. Maybe next time we can try it, because we will enforce it that everyone should have live account. Okay, so for us Teams, we have that platform, but in order to ask for the account, it takes a little bit time. So because we want it emergency, okay, so we use Google Meet for now, for few of my friends. Okay, so back to here. So there are none of you have ever used Discord, and yeah, it's not very popular for us. And I was also for me, I'm being introduced with Discord from my final year project student, my ex final year project student. Okay, so he asked me because I after he graduated, I still discuss with him because still asking for his help to do videos, to edit my videos. Okay, so he asked me, okay, doctor, can we discuss in Discord? Okay, what is the thing Discord? I never come across the name Discord. But then I know, oh, my sons also know about Discord. Because why? Because it is for gamers. Gamers. So it really popular among the gamers, and our students also gamers. So that's why when we ask them to go for Discord, so majority of them just entered the room and just what discuss. They don't have any problem. Majority of them. Okay, and also I have support from my friends. For example, the Norzal, who have also written a paper on using Discord. Okay, and also Dr. Norhayati, who for this semester we implement using Discord fully, for online lecture, and for also breakout rooms, and also to replace Telegram and to replace WhatsApp. So we use Discord for everything, almost everything. Okay, so so it's good for small group discussions, textual, and also a voice. Of course, that one is very special for me. Okay, and also it can make a large class feel more manageable. Because we can ask them, okay, go to your room. It's like having a physical class but online. That's what I'm feeling the first time I'm experiencing using Discord. Okay, and Discord also has been reportedly used in online learning in 2020 and 2021 publications, so such as this one. It is being used in senior high school, and also this one also for learning environment for emergencies. Okay, so so about Discord, so it is a free voice over VoIP program, which allows us to communicate via voice chat, and share text, image, videos, URL link, also can. So and also files, but there are certain limit lah for the files. Okay, so basically when we are in Discord, it's a black background, a background for gamers, but actually we can transform the background into white or what colors we want. But I stay with black because I respect my students who are gamers, so that they are really in their environment. Okay, and also when in Discord, we can create a lot of servers. So for my first implementation of Discord in semester 1, 2020-2021, so I don't use any server. So I just use one for all the sections that I've taught. Okay, and then after for this semester, okay, I have my support group. So they ask or they highlight that in order to have a manageable Discord communication, we develop or we add servers. So what happened is I have I have one server for one section here. Okay, here is for section 101. This is for section 02. Yeah. Okay, so when I'm in section 01, so I go there and then I put all the materials there. I said when I will give the the attendance to scan, and then all the planning for that day. It's like having a telegram, right? Okay, and then I said that they have to start where they can start the lecture. So for example, in Discord, the voice channel general here is where the lecture is done. Yeah, where the lecture is done. And for this one, we name it. We name all the channel. Okay, room 1, room 2, room 3, and so forth. Yeah. Okay. So meaning that it will be our breakout room. Yeah. And beside the voice channel here, we also have the text channel. Okay, so that's where I will put all the planning or my files or the video for today. Yeah, so I put it the link there. Yeah, okay. So this is where it's like the Telegram or the WhatsApp. Yeah? Okay. So this one is for the communication. Yeah? Okay, and in Discord also, this is where it's like Google, yeah? Google Meet or WebEx. So this is where we can share our video and our screen. Yeah, okay, here. Okay, so when we on the video, so our face will be projected, and if we share this, if we want to share the screen, so we go to screen here. Yeah, okay, so meaning that that we can we can show our face and we can share our screen also, right? Okay, so make sure we are not muted. Yeah, unmute ourselves. Okay, so but every free things there are some limitation. Okay, for the video to show our face, yeah, it limits into 20% in live session. Yeah, meaning that if my student, I have 47 students, for example, so I couldn't show my face because it's already out of limit. Yeah, okay. And for sharing screen, okay, now Discord is quite popular, so it also limits into 50%. So for my class, it's already okay. This is 47, 48, not until 51. Yeah, okay. So this restriction is during pandemic. Yeah, ironically, yeah, during pandemic. Before pandemic, before COVID-19, a gamer can do live session for 100 plus his fan, 100 plus of his fan. So for now, because of the pandemic, so many people may be using it, so only 50. Yeah. 50, and after that we still can do, we still can share the screen. However, we have to have 2 devices. So we have done it before. We test, Dr. Norhayati and I, we test doing a mass lecture. Okay, so she have one stream. Okay, I will show you the stream. What is it? Okay, that stream couldn't be accessed when we have 50 over. So the student, when we combine mass lecture, we have 80 plus. Yeah. So what happened is all the stream will be shared by the student, shared and shared and shared. So it's possible, but it takes someone who the students should also have a very good network lah, so that the stream can be shared effectively, yeah, or smoothly. Yeah, so that's the a little bit hurdle there. Okay, so this is the server. Okay, this is the channel. You can create as many channel as you like. Yeah. Okay. And also,
Assalamualaikum. Sorry to
Waalaikumsalam.
interrupt you. So
Yeah.
Dr. Shahliza, because I think this is a new for me as well, Discord. I heard about Discord before. So what is the advantages of Discord compared other tools that we already have?
Okay. Okay. Very good question, Dr. Mazlina. Mazlina, right? Okay. Okay. I have the what comparison between the tools that we usually use in online class, WebEx and Zoom. Yeah, I have the comparison. But I show first the video first of what happened in my class just lately using Discord. So one of the for me personally, one of the advantage for Discord is the breakout room. Yeah, because the breakout room is always there. When we share our server to the student, the breakout room will never expire unless we delete the server. Okay, so at one time when last sem, I go to my Discord. Okay, that one is during my space. Space is distance learning where the students are part-time students. So I teach them during holiday. So while I go to my Discord, oh, I have student in the breakout room discussing. So okay, so the time limit is not there. So they can go to the Discord breakout room and discuss. So that one I think really touch me in a certain way because the communication is possible outside the classroom. That one of the advantage that I can share. Okay, so this is the example. Comparison. Okay, this is the example of this sem. What happened? Can you hear me? The video clearly?
Yes, Dr.
Thank
Shah.
you. Student activity for now is they are doing discussion. So using Discord, we know which how many of them are doing the discussion. Yeah? So in room 1 we have 4, room 2 4, room 3 3%, room 4 4%, and so forth. Yeah? And if for example they are sharing their screen, we can also see their stream. Yeah? So that's easier for us to trace without them knowing that we are tracing what they are doing. Okay, so that is one of what I like in Discord. So if for example we want to enter the room, so we can just click room 10, we unmute, so we can talk to them. Okay, so that is the good thing about Discord. Okay, for example, I will go to room 7 because they are doing it 5% in a team. Yeah. Okay, so it should be 4. Okay, let's see what happened to them. Hello, team room 7. Room 7?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, why are you doing it 5%?
We are 4, 5.
Actually, doctor, we are 5, but is one we don't know who is he.
Oh, you don't know who.
دقيقة هذه رفاه هذه.
Okay, so then
well,
It's
doctor,
okay.
yeah,
It's okay,
yeah.
doctor.
doctor, I chose this room first.
Because
They kept coming, and now they're trying to kick me out.
No, doctor, she's with us. She's with us. We didn't understand.
okay, so
تكلمتي.
so for now you
Okay,
are 5, yeah, but in the actual one it is 4. Okay. All right. So 4 in a team, but you are now 4. It's still 5. Do okay, but it's okay for now. Okay. Just want to know why 5. Okay. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Okay, so that is how I do. So for example, they are doing live now. They are they are sharing the slide, so we know that they are doing the activity. So that's why I like what I like about Discord.
Hello, Doctor.
Hello.
Hello, Doctor.
After seeing your stream now. Okay, so what design pattern are you using?
Abstract factory and composite design pattern.
Dengan composite. Okay. Okay, start presenting your system, prototype, and show the abstract factory and also composite. How does you implement it in your prototype?
Okay.
All right. So I guess we start with the abstract factory first. All right, TR, can you show the...
Okay.
Facility.
SUI. Okay, so right.
Yeah.
So abstract factory in reserve facility.
Yeah. So basically, the one that we decided to do for abstract factory is like we make factory the facility ID, and that the products, there'll be the facility name and the location. So I'm demonstrating it.
Okay, that is the sample of how I use it for this semester, and last semester is my software design and architecture class. So it's involve coding and also theoretical. So it also helps me in communicating with my students. Okay, so about Dr. Mazlina's question just now, what can we compare between between the Discord and also other platform. Okay, so we can have many servers to represent our sections, to represent different courses, different sections. Okay, and also we have we can do channel. Channel meaning for breakout room. Okay, and it's permanent. Okay, so compared to Zoom, for example, yeah, it's easy to learn and use, but the most important thing is where you have to be a host, and then you have to create the rooms and put the participant in the breakout room. Okay, and also it has limitation for those who are using free version for Discord. It's always online. And it doesn't have to be installed because yeah, it's already there 24/7. Only you have to create account for that. Okay, so allow secure. Okay, and you can share multiple real-time screen. For example, just now we can see in room 1, one student is sharing their screen. Room 2, they can share their screen. Room 3, they can share also their screens. Their screen simultaneously also. Okay. Okay. So okay, that's one of the good things about Discord, and we can see if when others are logged into the server. Yeah. Like what I've shown before, we can see how many, all the rooms, is there enough person there. Yeah? And I know also why there are many of them in one room. Okay, so for me, I didn't restrict the room in Discord because I want it to imitate the real face-to-face environment where we say that, okay, go in your team. So sometimes there are one student go into another team, maybe to check what they do, right? So, but that particularly, even though I didn't put any restriction, but the student know, they know they will discuss with their team, so they will stay in their room. But when first time experimenting, maybe they like to go room by room just to have a look. Okay, but after that they stick to their team, stick to their room. Okay, so another thing is this one, the space used among the smallest. hard disk space. And then okay, this one is the disadvantage lah, because we only, it limits only for 50, because during pandemic I think it limited, but there are article saying that before pandemic they can have live session without limitation. Yeah, so that's limitation on emergency, on pandemic. Okay, so that is one, that is the comparison. Okay, based on the feedback of my student last semester, okay, they say that this one is a pros towards Discord. They say that it's easier to communicate only in one platform without changing to another. And then it's a stable platform for them to discuss, because the platform is, or the room for breakout room is always there. Okay, and then one more student said that for me Discord is much more better in form of performance, and it gives much more easier way to group discussion. Okay, but there are also cons. They are preferring to Google Meet still. Okay, I don't know, either my line is low, but they have problem in Discord. Okay, personally I don't prefer using Discord because I keep being left out in the discussion due to my internet connection. And also the last one, I was always left out and miss discussion. Okay, especially to open many online platform. Okay, so for me, I can conclude that for those who are already familiar with the platform, they don't have any problem, and they think it's easier to communicate in one channel. But for those who are not familiar with the platform, or internet connection is unstable, they are not preferring much toward Discord. Okay.
Dr. Shahliza, another question. It's quite interesting. Using the Discord, it is only for synchronous method, or we also can use for a synchronous approach or method?
Okay, yes. Okay, if I show the platform, do you want to see it? Okay, this is because I already have account, so it goes to my server. So I have a few server here. So it can be done synchronously or asynchronously. For example, this is my section 1. Okay, this is during class, but this is before class. Before class, meaning I can use it to remind them to do something. Yeah. Okay, so I remind them here. But okay, but to fully use it as asynchronous, I didn't use it much lah. But I give materials before class so that they can understand. But it can be used, because before this, in my really during MCO, I use or my lecture is based on asynchronous. Okay, so everything is in Telegram or WhatsApp. Yeah? So in Discord, we have that particular WhatsApp or Telegram chatting. Yeah, so it's okay. You can use also Discord for asynchronous. For me, it's okay to give files, for them to study, and to paste image. Also can for asynchronous, because yeah, I have experience as asynchronous. I do it fully using e-learning and also WhatsApp at that time. WhatsApp, yeah. So I particularly I can use it here in Discord. But now when I have running the 2 semesters already, and this is the 3rd semester for what during pandemic, after pandemic, pre-pandemic. Okay, I think I want to lessen my texting. So it's very time consuming to texting, so I just talk to them in their room. That's why I'm lessening my asynchronous. I go more on what synchronous. Okay, is that answering my question? Your question?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Shahliza.
Okay, welcome. Okay, so enough about Discord already. Now it's a second tool. It's okay. I have 10 minutes more. Okay, but I think everyone is familiar with Trello. So I want to share just how I try to implement Trello for team management, the progress and the feedback on their submission. Okay, so in Trello, we know that we have charts for the column and we have card for the rows. Okay, so each column for the student have meanings for the team management. So I asked them to use template for project team management also. Template in Trello. Okay, so basically, what I do first is that okay, when we are doing collaborative learning, it's not only doing work together, but also it's required that the teamwork have a well-defined roles. This is by Madari 2020. Okay, so I define the roles that they should take. For example, these are the roles. Cooperative also, like what Dr. Dayang said. Cooperative learning also have roles. So I use this role. Moderator, of course, it's a team leader in a way, where it keeps the group on track, ensure focus and full participation. And then we have recorder. So recorder is the one who record the assignment, the one who write and then identifying unresolved issue. And then we have reporter, check final draft and assignment. We have skeptic, asking for verification or provoke ideas from his friend. And then accuracy checker, finding all the resources. So each column is each chart in the Trello should be used by all these roles. So for example, the roles also will change based on different phases. So we have different boards to represent different phases in the project. Okay, so and also they describe which role they are in now. Okay, for example, accuracy checker. So this is his or her column here for project resources. So he or she will find all the resources for that particular phase of the project. The rubric involved, the file to share, the instruction for the project and everything. And then we have the skeptic asking provoking question. It's for the column question for next meeting. So he will asking from the discussion also, he will insert all the questions for me to ask or for them to discuss. And then recorder record unresolved issue, so it's in to do. So it's a column there, column there to describe all the to do things. And beside that, there are also team progress. They put their meeting video in the one of the column. And also, this is where I do my feedback. So I have one column for me to annotate or to give comments of what diagrams they give me or any things that ambiguous in what they have submitted. So that is all the columns in the Trello and the roles that they have to play. Okay, so these are the sample from the team in Trello. Okay, the third tool is Jamboard. Okay, maybe some of you have used Jamboard. So for me, Jamboard is very simple. Simple. Like if I'm first time using Jamboard, sometimes I thought that what I can do with Jamboard. But basically, there are so much things to do when you are doing it creatively. You're brainstorming, but you are doing it creatively, so you can have many very interesting notes to share. So for example, we have lots of Jamboards, so we can filter it based on owned by everyone or owned by me, or not owned by me, because student can share their Jamboard too. Okay, and then we can add the Jamboard here in class, right? Okay, and then when we this is where the student will create the Jamboard. So if we see here, the tool is just this much, and then This is where we can reuse back Jamboard, where we can clear the frame and then we can reuse back the Jamboard to another team. Yeah, and this is a slider because we have in Jamboard we have 20 boards that student can have their own. Yeah, okay, and also we have shared. We can share it here. Okay, share. Okay, so it's like a very clean slate for student to use. Okay, so when we ask the student, so they can do it creatively. It's very interesting. Interesting way that they use it. So this one is to answer my question. So this one is for the software design architecture student. Okay, they are doing this one. They are doing jigsaw also on the patterns, design pattern that they are using. Okay, and also I recently use it for jigsaw. Okay, so they can use it for expert notes, and then they can use these notes in order to describe back to their home team. Yeah. Okay, so this is Jamboard implementation to number 3. So we go to the last two. I think everyone is very familiar with Padlet. Okay, but I want to share how I use Padlet, how I use Padlet for exit ticket. Yeah. So basically we have lots of templates for Padlet. Okay, and we can reuse our Padlet. We can share in different platforms. For example, we can share in Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. And we can archive because we know if we don't pay, we only have how many Padlets? 4, 5, I think. Yeah. So we can archive also our Padlet so that we can use that Padlet again and again, yeah, because of the limited number of Padlet. Okay, so what I use Padlet for mostly is for the exit ticket. Yeah? So it's for brief reflection on what have just been learned in class. So information about what students have understood from the lesson, and from that we know either our objective for that day have been achieved or not using exit ticket. Okay, so this is the sample using any templates that are available in Padlet. I use it for exit ticket reflection. Okay, so meaning that I ask questions. So basically, I ask what do they understand, what they don't understand. Okay, so the thing that they, or the topic that they don't understand, that one I will use it. I will read back during my next week class, and then I will explain back. So that is the purpose of exit ticket. So meaning that every time, before my lecture finish, I ask them. It's compulsory for them to fill in the exit ticket. If not, they are considered not, that attendance is not until the end. Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, I use that back. I will read maybe the most lengthy one, because the lengthy one maybe means the most problem. Okay, the problematic one. So I read that one and then I comment. I try to make them understand more. And then for this semester, Dr. Norhayati asked me to do for the requirement engineering and software modeling, using the Padlet for no wonder learn, reflection. So it's a little bit lengthy from the exit ticket because they have to describe what they know. They have to describe what they still wondering or what they want to learn more, and then what they have learned. Yeah. Okay, so there are 3 things. Okay. So basically now I use also Google form in the form of survey to do this no wonder learn in order to know who understand or not understand the topic. Okay, so based on the survey on collaborative tools, that I've given this survey recently to my previous semester student. Alhamdulillah, they still want to fill in the survey because I said that it is a very, very short survey, so that I can know which tool that they prefer most when they are collaborating with their friends and also with me. Okay, so basically, it looks like Jamboard has a higher higher rating, in order they agree most using it. And also the second one is Trello, and the third one is Discord. So maybe Discord is basically because maybe there are some of them who are not familiar using Discord. They are not gamers, so they are not really into Discord. Okay. So that is the survey. Okay. As a last question, just want to have your participation. So based on today's workshop, Prof. Dayang have shared, and also from what I've shared, can you summarize in one word your motivation in implementing collaborative online learning? Okay, so using the same URL. So in my session today, I just concentrate on tools, online collaborative tools for emergency learning. So I just use tools that I can really use just in time, in order for me to realize, or in order for me to have a collaborative learning between the students, so that they can learn among them in order to understand what I'm lecturing. Okay, so there are many tools, alternative tools. So again, it's basically based on the emergency learning. So I just choose 4. And what my goal is that learning happens, regardless of they are alone actually, but they feel that they are together. That is what I'm trying to highlight in my class. Alone but together. Okay, and also I hope when they are using the tool, they are collaborating together in order to complete, or in order to understand the topics, and also in order to complete their assessment, especially the project, because it really, like what Prof. Dayang have said, it really a challenge in order to do collaborative, even in face-to-face. And now it's online, where they are scattered everywhere, in anywhere in the continent. So it's really crucial that we can give them environment where they can collaborate together. Okay, so that's all for me. Prof. Dayang, you want to add anything?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shahliza. So I think that's a good conclusion from Dr. Shahliza. I think that's all. Might be we pass the baton back to Dr. Exra.
Okay, so thank you very much, Prof, and also Dr. Shahliza. So any question from the participants? So just a comment I saw from the chat room is that very informative, Prof. Thank you, Dr. Shahliza, very interaction. Thank you, and great sharing, Prof. Dayang and Dr. Shahliza from the Madam Nurfauza. So anything, any question?
Dr. Azra, I think I have one question for Prof. Dayang.
Okay.
Since just now Prof. Dayang said that the collaborative work is a challenging approach, because I can see that we are collaborate in UTM, you are collaborate various subjects, various courses in one method or in one approach, which namely collaborative. So it might be Prof. Dayang can explain briefly how you did the assessment, because they are different assessment. Okay, they are different courses. So how you did the assessment for subjects that involve in collaborative learning?
Okay. Definitely the deliverable must be, because in software engineering, we have certain type of deliverable, and then different courses might analyze from different angles of that deliverable. There is a possibility, that's where it's very important at the beginning of the semester, both courses need to sit down and see what is the best deliverable should be designed for both courses. Or like in 2U2I, we have 3 courses that we need to sit. What are the deliverable, and which course will evaluate that particular deliverable. So so many things need to be planned. Okay, first plan during the curriculum design, like you need to post the courses so that it's possible to be collaboratively collaborate. That is one thing during the curriculum design. If you already have your curriculum implemented, you might want to do revision, like drag this one, naikkan ke atas sikit, so that you can have a nice, because not all courses can be collaborate, right? Yeah, that is one thing. Okay. The second step is before the semester begin, as Dr. Shahliza mentioned just now. So all the lecturer need to see it to make sure that all the students register in the same section within the same group so that they can share. This is the thing that the banyak sikit lah kerjanya, tapi it will make your student happy. It will rather than they are doing like to you to I. Katakan you have three courses and then setiap student have different stakeholder from different industries. Jangan memang stressful lah. But if you manage to design so that one case study untuk to you to I and then three courses, they only talk to one industry and they only need to solve one industry problem. So it will so blessing lah untuk student, even though a bit problems sedikit in term of lecturer untuk manage. But if you do it in team, you tak rasa lah, mungkin Dr. Shahliza boleh share, tapi rasanya online ni lagi challenging ya Dr. Shahliza, nak make sure the team sangat. So that is one thing. And then during the execution, bila the criticality is the before class start, yang tu yang paling critical, and during the execution that should be normal lah, just nak synchronize between section dengan section yang lain. And then assessment, yeah, you need to plan it properly and do the mapping like what I showed just now. Dari beginning lagi, you dah mapping kan what you want to assess, in which courses and things like that. Okay?
Thank you, Prof. Dayang. It's clear. Yeah, because I think the collaborative learning is so interesting. And then I think it will reduce a burden to students.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely it will increase a burden to lecturers, but at least we can reduce a burden to students, especially during pandemic COVID-19. So I think they have like increasing burden in terms of anxiety as well as in terms of stress. So that's why I think the collaborative learning is one way for us to think of in order to reduce the burden to the students. I think that's all, Prof. Dayang and Dr. Shahliza. Prof.
Okay, so if no more questions from the participants, so thank you for the insightful and informative sharing, Prof. Dayang and also Dr. Shahliza. So I would like to conclude our workshop for today. So we hope that you found this sharing valuable for you to develop your own teaching portfolio. We hope also that you will be getting some inspirations to conducting your online teaching and learning. So thank you very much for your time and participation in this workshop. See you in our next workshop. So thank you, Prof, and thank you, Dr. Shahliza.